Shalom. Oh yeah, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to the Akim out there spread this truth like wildfire. Well, I'm not supposed to give double honors. I keep forgetting because it's been a minute since I did this, but because of certain situations. But, salutations to the apostles and elders who rule well, and to the Akim out there, spread this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And just in case you don't know yet, Akim means brothers in the Paleo Hebrew, the real original Hebrew. And, I got this article that I'm gonna go into, and basically there's this immigrant-based reality show that Esau, is Esau is getting ready to push. And it says DHS open to Duck Dynasty producers pitch for immigrant-based reality show, quote unquote, happy to review. And Esau, just in case you don't know, he's a self-proclaimed so-called white man. And we're talking about the basically the ruling elites right now, ruling elites of the House of Edom, of Esau Edom. But the DHS official says the department is open to out-of-the-box, quote-unquote, ideas to revive patriotism and civic duty in America. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is considering working with the producer of, quote-unquote, Duck Dynasty on a reality show featuring immigrants vying for U.S. citizenship. Rob Warsoff, the A&E producer who pitched the department about the show in the 35-page slide deck first reported by Daily Mail, envisioned immigrants taking part in competitions around the country for the prize of fast-tracking their citizenship process, such as digging for clams in Maine or rafting down the Arkansas River in Colorado. The show would be called, quote-unquote, The American, also the name of the Amtrak train that would cart them around the country. As they traveled to each state, the competitors would learn, quote-unquote, learn about the history, quirks, and activities of each region. One slide seen by Fox News Digital said, quote-unquote, aboard the train we will learn who they are, where they come from, their unique backgrounds, and why they have chosen to immigrate to the U.S. of A., United States of America. The slide reads, DHS seems open to the proposal. Basically, it's more bread and circuses, this time involving these so-called, these immigrants, this time involving them. Quote unquote, I said it may be a good idea. Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at DHS, told Fox News Digital. Quote unquote, we get hundreds of pitches for shows. We need to revive patriotism and civic duty in this country, and we're happy to review out-of-the-box pitches. She added that on X, that Secretary, Kristi Noem, known for her made-for-TV moments on the job, has not yet been briefed on the idea because it's in the early stages and has not been approved by staff. The winner would be deemed, quote-unquote, our newest fellow American. All contestants on the show would be eligible for eventual citizenship. Other game prizes would be quote unquote iconically American, including 1 million American Airlines points, $10,000 Starbucks gift card, or a lifetime supply of 76 gasoline. Warsaw, who is Canadian, told Fox News Digital he pitched the idea as far back as the Obama administration, and the DHS under both President Barack Obama and Joe Biden had been receptive to it. Quote unquote. In both cases, there was a positive response, he said. Quote unquote, there was a very positive response under DH Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Then he got impeached. My bad, y'all. My show is very much, quote unquote, my show is very much a positive, fun, inclusive show, Warsaw added. He said years ago he pitched the idea for a hit reality show, quote unquote, The Biggest Loser, and people had initially accused him of fat shaming, quote unquote. Then people watched the show, they realized this is a heartwarming kind of show, quote unquote. Nobody's moving backwards in the immigration process, quote unquote. By being on the show, he emphasized. Warsaw told the Wall Street Journal he pitched the idea as far back as the Obama administration, but it never gained traction. Warsaw formerly wrote for and produced quote unquote Duck Dynasty, a reality TV show about a Louisiana family and their duck hunting activities. He produced Bravo's Millionaire Matchmaker. Warsaw, who hails from Canada, told the Daily Mail, quote unquote, I'm not affiliated with any political ideology. As an immigrant myself, I'm merely trying to make a show that celebrates the immigration process, celebrates what it means to be an American, and have a national conversation about what it means to be American through the eyes of the people who want it most. DHS has launched a $200 million ad campaign aimed at highlighting the administration's efforts to crack down on quote-unquote illegal immigration. So basically, Esau got this new show that they pushing that basically is called The American, and basically it's like bread and circuses, but it's about they're gonna use the immigrants. And bread and circuses is a Latin phrase, panem et circenses, that describes the practice of distracting the public from serious issues by providing them with basic needs and entertainment. It originated in ancient Rome, where the Roman Empire used free grain, bread, and public spectacles like gladiatorial games, circuses, to pacify the populace and prevent unrest. The phrase has continued to be used in various contexts to criticize governments or societies that rely on basic needs and entertainment to divert attention from political, social, economic problems. You got the economy, the economy's not doing too good, and you got these different situations. This is a card that they might play. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Bread refers to free grain distribution to Roman citizens as a way to ensure basic survival. They was gonna do that with the Doge dividend. And circuses refers to public spectacles like gladiatorial contests, chariot races, and other entertainments designed to divert the public's attention and provide a sense of pleasure in the community. Origin of the phrase was popularized by the Roman poet Juvenal, who used it to criticize the decadence of the Roman Empire and the decline of civic engagement. They said that would help with civic issues, but really they're not going to go into issues that really matter, just like trivial shit, basically. That's what they're going to go into. But basically, yeah, this is more bread and circuses. And it says right here, the phrase bread and circuses, quote unquote, is often used metaphorically in contemporary political discourse to criticize actions or policies that are perceived as superficial, designed to placate the public rather than address real issues. It can also be used to describe a society that is overly focused on entertainment and consumerism at the expense of critical thinking and civic engagement. But they bred in circuses, right? That's what they did back in Rome, right? That's what the show Hunger Games is about, right? Why that land that is based off of basically is called Panem, because it come from this, bred in circuses. Like the brother had said, comparing it to Hunger Games. But basically, this would be the circuses, and basically to entertain the people, and they're using these immigrants, and we know that Jake, a lot of the times, Jake, this time would include a lot of Northern Kingdom Jakes. They provided, but like in the Roman Empire with Southern Kingdom Jakes, that they were the ones that was fighting in the gladiator. They were the gladiators and shit. Our people was the gladiators, for the most part. And the best ones was definitely our people. Just like today, with football, basketball, all that, boxing, that's our people are the best at it, So they're gonna use Jake to as a entertainment, as minstrel show entertainment for the people, But bread and circuses is what they doing, and no new thing under the sun. They're talking about people, talking about mankind, but also talking about people. Well, not mankind in general, but like people. But also because we know reincarnation is real, but also it's the same people doing the same things, man. And let me get Ecclesiastes 1:6. Well, 1:9. The thing that hath been done is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, say this is new, it had been already of old time which was before us? Verse 11, there's no even empires come back, like the Roman Empire, because this is Rome all over again, just with new technology. Verse 11, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So this is basically Rome 2.0. And in prophecy, it was prophesied that the Roman Empire would come back, man. Revelation I'm gonna read on. I'm gonna read these 4 verses. Well, 5 verses, because with verse 5 you gotta read it with understanding that 40 and 2 months is symbolic of the time period that these devils is gonna rule. And that these devils have ruled, actually. But Revelation 13:1, I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, because the end of it, the leopard, is symbolizing Greece. Basically that Greco-Roman system, man. And his mouth is the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat. It is seat and great authority. Oh, that's another one, the news bulletin that just showed up. Chinese kill switch that would cause blackouts. That's another topic. Verse 3, and I saw, and basically speaking of the system back then, the system now, but really the system now, because the lion represent what? England. You know, also represents England, the English language, the mouth of a lion. You know, what's the lingua franca, basically the language that this place is based off of, that English. And the dragon gave him his power and seat and great authority. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. Which happened what? During what? The what would you call it? The Renaissance period. And the world wondered after the beast. Verse 4 will start off in the Renaissance period and continue a little after that Renaissance period. But the Renaissance period was when that shit started up. Verse 4, and they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? You know, the beast being that Roman Empire, man, because they were able to bring the Roman Empire back. You know, this is Rome all over again. US and EU, NATO countries, that's Rome all over again. Verse 5, and the dragon which gave power to the beast, you know, that's these elites of the nation of Esau, Edom. Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth. Well, also the system itself, you know. Well, the system itself is also the dragon. But they're like, you know what I'm saying though, but the elites of Esau, Edom, you know, they actually run this place. But verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High Power Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell therein, pushing the false image of the Lord, man. And pushing the false image of the Most High Power Yahweh, and another name, and a false image of Yahushai, and another name, 2 Greek titles to be exact, and a false image, as well as tying false doctrines to the Lord, like he came to save all people, like Yahushai, basically saying that Yahushai, he died for all people, and he also that he died for all people, man, and also that he's a so-called white man and all that, and that the Most High Yahweh is a so-called white man, you know. And I fucking swear, Salakia. Salakia. It's just a pop-up ad showed up. Probably clicked on it because the screen blacked out. That was Satan. But basically, in that you can eat whatever you want and just do as thou wilt doctrines, man. And his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given over all kindreds and tongues and nations. You know, so these devils made war with the saints, right? Who are the saints? The saints, according to the scriptures, are the Israelites. Saints are the Israelites, man. Psalms 148 and 14. Psalms 148 and 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. So it says, he'll exalt the horn of his people, the praise of all, so his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. So the saints are the Israelites. And also in Daniel, this reminds me of a verse in Daniel, talks about that little horn, which is America, by the way, that made war with the saints, man. Yeah. Okay, get to. Yeah, it's the same kingdom being spoken of right here. You know, the revived Roman Empire, which is the U.S. and the EU and NATO countries. But let me get it. And a call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shem Crocodiles for inspiring me with the spirit to do this video. But Daniel 7 and 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Verse 21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Verse 22, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given unto the saints of the Most High, Yahweh. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Verse 23, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and saints mean sanctified ones too. It's also how you know sanctified means set apart. And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. You know, these devils basically most of the world is in their hands, man. Pretty much all, almost all. Pretty much, yeah. Verse 24, it is that same devil that destroyed the earth. The same devil that made the world as a wilderness and didn't open the house of his prisoners, and that's Isaiah 14, because they're mockingly called Lucifer. That's a man. Isaiah 14:16, they that see thee, a type of man actually, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Made the world as a wilderness. So the whole earth is they shall devour the whole earth and shall tread it down, break it in pieces. That's what they've been doing, these devils. You know, that hammer of the whole earth, man. Oh, let me get to the point with basically showing this Babylon too. Verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, Britain, France, and Spain. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High Power Yahweh, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High Power Yahweh, and think to change times and laws, They shall be given into his hand until time and times and dividing of times. Dividing of time. You know that 200 and basically a time and times and a dividing of times, man. Basically a time and times, dividing of time. That's how long our people was asleep. When you look at it from 1619, when all of Jake, all 12 tribes was basically under the rulership of Esau Edom, because that's when Judah was brought here in large numbers, brought to North America. That's when Judah was brought to North America, where the U.S. is located at, aka Babylon the Great. So from 1619 to 1969, you got 1619, 1719, 1719 to 1819, 1819 to 1919. A time and times, and the dividing of time, and then half of that from 1919 to 1969, 50 years. So those other periods were 100 years, going from 1619 to 1919. And then from 1919 to 1969, that is 50 years. That is a dividing of time. So that is what is being spoken of. And it says 42 months is symbolic. This 42 months is, when you look at it, it's 3 years, 3 years and a half. 3 years and a half is 42 months. 48 months would be 4 years. But a time and times in the dividing of time. You know? And then the saints were woken up, man. I mean, their mind was freed from basically them being lost. The truth began being pushed out on the highways and byways by Abba Bivens, you know, Rabbi Bivens, you know, who was also Abba Bivens, who was also Elijah, came back, and Elijah is prophesied to come back before that great and notable day, man, as prophesied. Great and dreadful day of the Most High Power Yahweh. And that's exactly what happened. Also, John the Baptist was Elijah too. And then Yahushua came the first time. First was John's ministry, then John the Baptist's ministry, then then Yahushua's. So, and then also, it's also before the second coming, John the Baptist came, you know. Malachi 4 and 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Most High Power Yahweh. Verse 6, and ye shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So basically, we're in these last days. We're in these last days, and basically, during this time period, basically the real Israelites, which is your so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans primarily, but also scattered among the other nations, including Esau, Edom, scattered among Esau as well. Many of whom looking like the other nations, you know. The elect of the true Israelites are being woken up, and it's almost over there. the elect may already have been sealed. You know, it's just it's almost over. You know, this ministry is almost over. And then you know, the night is coming where no man can work. You know, just like, hey, the night is coming where no man can work. You know, basically Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, famine of the word, you know, is coming. And these are the, hey, we're in these days, man. We're in these days. Verse 26 of Daniel chapter 7. But the judgment shall sit and shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it until the end. So we're in this last kingdom that is ruling. We're almost at the end of it. Verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Hey, Jacob got next. Jacob got next. You know, it also tells you, hey, not only tells you that this is Rome all over again, but also tells you that that Jacob got next, man. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. And answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? And when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, and from Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know, so we in them days, and Esau's kingdom or queendom, I call it queendom, is almost because you know how it's set up here. You know, it's not really a kingdom where men rule. You know, it's Esau and Eve that rule. You know, but basically Esau and Eve. And we call it a queendom, you know, like making fun of it, but it's called a kingdom, you know. But verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. But with that, I hope this video is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakurash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well, and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. You know, Shalom. Stay strong. Abad Babal, death to Babylon. Abad La Adawanyam, death to these Edomites. Abad La Gawayim, death to these other nations. Wa Abad La Ayab Yanawa, death to our enemies. And Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai will bring all of this. You know. Shalom. Stay strong. Stay strong. We're almost out of here. You know, Abad Babal. You know, we got next. Yasharallah forever. Shalom.